Today, I'm gonna make this gluten-free cupcake with homemade frosting. It's such a simple recipe, I just love it. Let's go. I'm Becky. I used to live in the consumer rat race just like you. But one day, I had enough, so I sold it all, moved to the country, and built my own log cabin with my own two hands. Now, I spend my time discovering new ways to live a simple, healthy lifestyle with more free time and way less stress. Then, sharing what I've learned with you. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. We're going to be making these gluten-free cupcakes with farm-fresh ingredients that make them so tasty and way healthier than anything you can buy in the store. This recipe is so easy with the homemade frosting. It's nice and fast. You can bring it to a barbecue or any summer outing you're off to. So what we're going to need for the cupcakes are 2 ripe bananas, 2 farm-fresh eggs, a stick of butter, a tablespoon of vanilla, Hodgson milk cupcake mix, and instead of buttermilk, I'm going to use the silk almond milk. Okay, we're going to start with the bananas. I just break this up like this. I do all the wet ingredients first. I don't really go by what the box says. So I'm going to put these bananas in here. All right, and I'm going to put my eggs in here too, because if it has a little moisture, it's going to mush the bananas up better. I want the bananas really, really, really mushy and liquidy. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to turn this on. And then it takes a second to get the bananas through there. So you have to just I spin the bowl back and forth. And boys like banana cake and cupcakes and banana stuff. I don't know why. Seems like men like that flavor a lot. Okay, I'm going to speed this up. I love vanilla, so I put a lot of vanilla. That's a lot of vanilla. Okay, I'm putting the butter in here now. I had this sitting out on the counter. So it's really soft and, it got warm and soft. And I'm just going to let that go for a while because I like it very blended with very mushy bananas. Okay, so we need a cup of milk. The box calls for buttermilk, but I'm only going to use silk milk because that's what I like. I got off dairy milk completely, except for heavy cream in my coffee. I do like that. But I don't drink milk anymore. So I'm going to pour this in here. So now all the wet ingredients are blended in here. Now I'm going to open the box mix. I'm new to gluten-free, and I am not going to be able to add all the different flours together like tapioca starch and brown rice flour. It's very tricky to get the cake mix right. It's not just like flour if you're eating gluten. So I don't mind buying a box mix if it doesn't have chemicals in it or preservatives. Move it like this. That way when I turn it on, it's not a big poof. As you can see, there's no big poof now. All right, there's a little poof, but not a big poof. Everybody loves cupcakes. They're so much fun. That's why I like to make cupcakes. When you give somebody a cupcake, they're always like, ooh, a cupcake. So that's why I like making them. Plus, it's already portioned out. You don't have to be tempted to be like, oh, I'm going to cut a great big piece of cake. It's like, no, you just get a little cupcake. It's already portioned out for you. So I'm going to mix this right here for just like a minute, not very long. And I'm going to speed it up just a little bit, just to get it blended well. That's mixed long enough. I'm going to just lift this up and let it drip for a minute. The best way to make cupcakes are to buy these little freestanding foil cups. That way you don't need a tin. And then I just lay them out on here. Okay, this is going to be a lot of cupcakes. I'm going to preheat the oven to 350. This is about a half a cup of a scoop, and what this does is it fills each cup about 3/4 of the way. Don't fill the cupcake tins, little paper tins, all the way up to the top, because this will, this will blub up, and then you need a little teeny weeny edge for frosting. As you can see, one box makes quite a few cupcakes. which is so convenient if you're, you know, having company or you want to take them somewhere. If you're invited to a dinner or a barbecue or something, it's really easy to make them. Look how good these look. Nice shiny foil, 19 homemade cupcakes, banana cupcakes. They're so awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put them in the oven for 22 to 26 minutes. I only have one pot holder, so this is gonna be a balancing act. All right, scoot that stuff over and we'll put them right here so we can get a good look at them. Now I'm gonna make the frosting. What we need for the frosting is another stick of butter, a package of cream cheese, both of these softened, and powdered sugar. And we're gonna make them chocolate, so we have the unsweetened cocoa powder. The first thing I'm gonna do is plop this melted stick of butter in this little pot that I have, which I'm gonna put right here so it's easy to get it in there. And I did dump a little vanilla in there if you can see that. It's a whole stick of butter, a whole brick of cream cheese, and I just break it a little bit, although this is really soft. If it's not really, really soft, I break it up a little bit so it's easier for the mixer. It's like it's stuck. Let go. Okay, it did. So we're gonna mix these two together really, really good before we put the sugar in. All right, so I have to move the bowl around like this because it's kind of thick and my beaters are old. And when it gets like that, I'm gonna speed it up a little, pretty fast. There's nothing better than homemade cream cheese frosting. It is so good. It's like you won't ever, ever, ever buy the little plastic can of it again. It's pretty well blended though because it's soft, so it blended up pretty fast. We need 3½ cups of powdered sugar. It's super poofy when you're using the beater, so you have to go slow or you're gonna have powdered sugar everywhere. And then I'm gonna turn it on low, low, low and see how that goes. And just let it go in place. Don't move it too fast. All right, I'm gonna speed it up now. Really blend it well. If you want a thinner, very easy to spread frosting, this tastes good right now if you put this on a cake. So it could be 1 stick of butter, 1 brick of cream cheese, and 2 cups of powdered sugar. And let me just show about how thick this is. I mean, as you can see, it still does stick to the beaters. You know, it's pretty thick, very spreadable if you were gonna put it on a cake. Now, if you were to put it in the middle of a cake as a layer cake, it would be too thin and it would, you know, the top layer would squish it right out, the weight of the top layer. But if you just did a single layer cake, this would be perfectly fine. But for cupcakes, it's not that good either because the cupcake is so small, it'll just goo off the side of the cupcake. So we're putting in another 1.5 cups of the powdered sugar to make this frosting thick. So I'm gonna put the 1.5 cups of sugar in here. If you want to, and we like to, is you can add some of this sugar-free cocoa to the mix and make chocolate frosting. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna lower this back down nice and easy. Little wiggle around just to get it started. Like I said, don't move it yet. Hold the bowl still if yours twirls. Now we're gonna speed it up and let it rip. It's heavy, thick, nice frosting. Okay, now the fun part. I just plop it on the top and I kind of just keep tapping it until it goes down a little bit. That's how I do cupcakes, like that. So you want the frosting, you know, smooth enough to blub down a little when you tap it. So the amount of powdered sugar that you put in the frosting is what makes the thickness. Less powdered sugar, the frosting will be not as thick, and a little more powdered sugar makes the frosting a little thicker. You gotta start with 2 cups at least though, in order for it to taste good. But the extra 1.5 cups, that can, you know, vary, whatever you need. I just love cupcakes because it makes everybody happy. If you show up with a bunch of cupcakes, everybody's happy to see you coming, and they're just nice. Individual, ready to go, hand them out, help yourself, whatever, however you want to do it. Cupcakes are the best. I'm doing less frosting. I don't want them like that has a lot. You know the kids would go for those. because the kids love the frosting. All finished, yum, and ready to share.
Sign up for Becky's Homestead newsletter. Go to beckysHomestead.com and sign up on the right. You'll get articles, news, and specials from Becky every month. Unsubscribe anytime, no spam.
If you like this video, please click the like button. It really does help us a lot. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, click the subscribe button.
Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please email me and Doodles. Happy homesteading. Bye-bye.